On today's episode,
on the CEO of you.
Obviously, it's Bradford and Leeds, so the top rivals. So I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides, but I think we've got it going all right.
My name's Adara. I'm a social media marketing expert. Educate, entertain, inspire. That's the content cycle. What you need to do is... So when you're building a business and a brand, your focus needs to be less on billboards, more on social media advertising.
who is your most successful client and what have you done for them that's got the numbers?
A year ago, she had Facebook, full stop.
Yeah.
She's grown crazy amounts. Like in the past 2 weeks, she's gained.
LinkedIn. How important is it to have a social media presence on LinkedIn?
If you want to see real money, get yourself on LinkedIn.
Welcome to the CEO of you. CEO being the highest position you could be in a company. We believe you are the CEO of your life and you have full responsibility of how you react to situations in your life.
Always remember, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. Be the boss, be the CEO.
Repeat after us. I am successful in everything that I choose to do.
I will be great.
I create my own pathway. Hi Adara, how are you?
I'm well, really excited to speak to you guys today.
Yes, man.
As are we. So we're just gonna get straight into it, straight in deep in today. So you're a social media manager.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing there's a lot of social media questions we have to ask. But before we get onto that side, what is it that got you to the person you are today?
Understanding myself deeper, looking at my parents, and then using the lessons I've learned from other people to improve myself. So I'd go around and I'd recognise things in other people and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do all that. And then I'd pull it in, look at myself, improve it, and then push out a better version of myself. And obviously doing that, you incrementally get better.
Okay.
I like that. Do you have any childhood experiences that you think that kind of changed your perception on reality or just changed you as a person?
I don't know, I had a beautiful childhood, everything I needed at surface level. I think it was more emotionally, so at home, I'd everything. But seeing my friends and stuff shaped me a lot, and moving schools at a young age, I think it was year 2. That was entering a new reality, a new world. I was like, whoa, there's all these different people, got to make new friends, because obviously when you grow up, you just chill with the people that you were being with for the past few years. Yeah. So getting into that, I think changed me a lot, and then doing it again, moving to a different city and sort of a different area.
How many times did you move?
So I started in one area in Bradford, then I moved to another, year 2, and then obviously for the high school part of things, I stayed in Bradford, then I moved to Leeds to go to sixth form.
Oh, because I'm not good with accents, off topic, but I feel like I hear a bit of Leeds in you. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
So Adara, recently done asked you a few questions, obviously beforehand, and we also spoke to you a bit. You said you started a successful Instagram page at 16 years old. Wasn't that when Instagram was just starting to become popular? How did you get so ahead of the game?
I don't know what 15-year-old sits back and thinks, I'm going to pick a niche, but that was me. I picked the beauty industry and I started taking pictures of products and I started engaging with the community who were doing that. So other beauty influencers of the time, obviously, 2015, 2016, influencers weren't a thing. Brand deals weren't really a thing. I sort of got in so early that I ended up riding the wave and experiencing and reaping the rewards, basically. So I got into it, took all the pictures, started engaging, and literally in 9 months, I took the account from 0 to 6k.
6k?
Organically, back then.
That is crazy. When I think back then, I probably had 200 followers.
I don't think I had an account back then.
It was new.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So since you know how to do that and you also are social media branding, what is the importance as a social media to build your personal brand?
Personal branding is everything. So you sat here with me now. I'm in a suit. You'll see me at another event in another suit.
Okay.
It's about upholding yourself to a certain level, both on and offline, so that people can sort of see you live to that standard and not just think, oh, they're putting it on for social media. You need to just keep consistent over every area of your life.
So would you say your personal brand represents you?
Yeah, it's everything about you. You've got to live and breathe your personal brand. If you decide, okay, I want to be a successful businesswoman, you've got to live like one, turn into one.
True. So do you think there's any longevity in someone that puts on a front for social media?
No,
Mm.
they will just think like you can't fake it for that long. It's not sustainable for your mental health. It's not sustainable for you. Full stop.
Just a quick one. As somebody on social media, would you say you would have to act the same way you act online in person when you're offline?
Yeah.
And what's the importance of that?
So I think right now, the way social media is going, people thrive on authenticity. So when they see someone online, they expect them to be exactly how they imagined.
Mm-hmm.
They might have made it up in their head, but what they see on the screen, they're sort of expecting that person to react and act in that same way.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a few experiences like that.
What, where you meet someone and they're not the
Yeah,
same?
then I wouldn't say it's a bad thing though, because it's like I've never met them as a person before, but I've just seen their videos, and it's like for some reason I expected a conversation just to be about what they talk about in their videos, but they've actually got other things to talk about outside of their niche. So it's like, oh, just took me by surprise.
Just based on that, how important is it to pick your niche? Because I know a lot of people struggle to find their niche, and then they end up moving from niche to niche, and then they actually don't build like a consistent following base. So what is the importance of having the niche and sticking to it?
Sticking to the niche is one thing that you've got to really do. Like, you need to live and breathe it, because if you pick and choose between niches, like you said, you're going to end up with a community that drops off. So say you get 6,000 followers, for example, but you've floated from 5 different niches. As you enter your new niche that you've really decided on, they're all going to drop off. They're going to unfollow you because they don't care. They
True.
followed you for the one that they followed you in the first place.
Okay, so what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to build a successful niche?
Experiment in your first few stages, but once you've decided, that's it. Everywhere has got to be the same sort of picture, the same sort of topic.
Okay, so when you was building your beauty brand niche, how exactly did you do that?
I spoke to other people in the niche,
Yeah.
engaged with them, commented on their posts, reposted them, and then sort of just, I want to say copied, but that's not the right word.
It's okay if you copy
Took
it.
it- I mean, that was 15-year-old me, so whatever. I copied. I literally took the style of picture that they were taking, thought, this is perfect, how can I make it better? I got my bedroom lamp to add some lighting, because obviously I didn't know what these sort of lights were.
Yeah.
Took all the pictures, tagged the big brands, sent it to the big brands, and waited for them to reply.
Any other reply?
Did it reply?
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, do you know, we'd love to send you some free products. Da-da-da-da.
Oh,
We like your
wow.
photography, this and that. And be like, okay, send them my way.
And that come with a little check as well. Like,
So back then, there was no check. It was just like, we'll just keep giving you free products. Obviously, a 15-year-old, I was like,
free products.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
At 15, I'd love that.
That's crazy.
Okay, so now that we spoke about all of that, I want you to tell us how important you think social media is.
vital. In today's world, like, social media is everything. If you think of the way that people indulge in it right now, it's the whole life, like they live and breathe it. Some people, right, sit in the room on social media 16 hours a day, for example, and that's their reality. They don't put the phone away and step out.
True.
So when you're building a business and a brand, your focus needs to be less on billboards, more on social media advertising.
True.
So if you was to start a business, for anyone, let's say anyone listening starting a business, where would you recommend them to start on social media? And how would you go about growing the business?
It depends on what they do. Obviously, if you're professional, LinkedIn, but Instagram and TikTok right now, because TikTok,
Yeah. TikTok.
the growth is crazy. Like, I've never seen it like it. My clients are growing like 23k, crazy silly views, 50k, and it's just over the same sort of content that we've been putting out, but it's like one video can change your life.
Yeah, it can reach a lot
Yeah.
more people than it does anywhere else.
So what advice would you give to them that's got them to be so successful?
I'd say put out content that's quality. You don't need to focus on the amount of times you post. You need to focus on what you post. So, like, think about it before you do it. Don't just put something out to put something out, because your viewers are not going to appreciate it if it's just done in a rush and in a hurry.
Okay.
You know what? We can have an interesting conversation about that little one, because I've been analysing TikTok for like the past year, and I feel like the quality of videos on TikTok has improved a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why we need to post more quality videos, because less quality videos just won't get noticed as much. Whereas before, people would just be talking to the camera in their bedroom, in their bed, and everyone was like, yeah, this is TikTok, doing them dances in their room. Yeah, this is TikTok. Now it's like you can actually learn on TikTok. People are giving you good information. And yeah, I just thought it's crazy how it changes over time. But you're right, quality over quantity.
Always.
Just another thing. Another thing that we struggled with. Well, not really struggled with. When we started to start up our podcast, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, everybody's got a podcast. It's kind of hard to start a podcast to grow your niche." So what advice would you give to somebody who's wants to start something, whether let's say YouTube, wants to start a YouTube channel, but that niche is oversaturated? But what advice would you give, because it's never really oversaturated, is it?
I was going to say that the market is only oversaturated if you think it. You need to be so good that you dominate it. So like, come out on top, pick every single person in that niche and think, I can do better than that and do better.
Yeah.
All you need to do, learn first, then do.
Learn first, then do.
You got to look around, because if you don't, you'll just fail. You need to look at what other people are doing to succeed.
So if, let's say you was doing it, you would look at other niches first, take segments of what they do, and just flip it and do it 10 times better.
Yeah, we'll use my lashes for an example. Everybody does lashes. Everyone's got a lash brand, blah, 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 blah. So I did my research. I got a manufacturer that no one has. Got my packaging, completely different to everyone else's. Got my logo on it and just did it, and it flew.
That's
You
it.
just have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, who is actually going to believe in you?
That's it.
That's good. So just speaking on what you just said about how you went about doing it, what's one of your biggest successes on social media?
I think my personal success were probably getting monetized on YouTube in the past.
Okay.
But we'll talk about the next one in our catch-up.
I didn't even know you got monetized.
You got
on
monetized?
YouTube.
Is that same channel you showed us?
Yeah.
You got monetized on that very soon. How many followers, subs do you need for that?
You need 1,000. I had, I think, 1,500. So I
Yeah.
got it. I was doing the AdSense thing, where you get the adverts put on your video and then you
Yeah,
get paid.
yeah.
Do you pick when the adverts go? When the adverts go in?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know.
Or does it just randomly generate? Oh, it just press yes.
Yes, I know.
Because I noticed like some videos you either get a video in the middle of the video or the end of the video.
yeah.
That's what I thought. And you can see the yellow. I don't know if you could see it, the yellow lines on YouTube.
Oh,
It represents as an advert. That's what I'm saying. That's what I
I
thought.
know what you're talking about.
That's what I thought. You get to choose when that comes out. That's crazy.
Don't forget, how old were you when you were doing that YouTube?
50?
Yeah,
50.
50. I don't think she really cares. She
I was just like,
"Ooh,
money,
ads."
eh?
Yeah.
Do you have any other successes besides doing a social media business?
I think probably my rugby.
Rugby?
Yeah.
You know what?
God,
That
that's a story.
That's something I just never expected from you. I don't know why. When you said rugby, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Can you not tell?
Tell us more about it. Tell us more.
So I started playing for the Bradford Bulls when I was 16. Bearing in mind, I only started at school when I was 14. I went to a community club 15, Bulls 16. So it was a very quick journey.
Sounds like you were talented.
Yeah, maybe you could say that.
Bala. Bala.
I think I was just strong. Like, I'm really heavy.
Yeah.
So when I'm going about doing it, they'll look at me and think, oh, she'll be all right. And then I'll hit them and they'll be like, oh, that wasn't all right. Like, just a lot of power behind it. And I think it must have been recognised. And that's when I got into doing what I do with them. We won a few shields, won a few cups, had a great time.
So what level? What's the highest level you got to in rugby?
Women's Super League.
So you're telling me you was basically pro?
What?
You could call it that, but the thing is, in today's world, women don't get paid.
Oh,
As
yeah,
much.
for-
true.
Women don't get paid for professional rugby.
No, so that's one of the reasons why I sort of put it on hold for a bit, because I was getting injuries to my body and I was like, I am getting nothing for
Yeah,
this.
it's not
even like
you're getting a
why
big
am I
fat check.
doing it?
So not even like, is there a level above Super League?
No, it's just obviously country level, so England.
Oh, and then would they obviously they probably get paid on that level?
I should hope so, yeah. I think they do.
I should hope.
I feel like you wouldn't even get paid because I'm sure you don't get paid for you playing for your
You do get
International
you get minimum wages, but you have the choice as well to like donate to charity as well.
Oh, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I,
but
I,
it's-
I thought like footballers just got paid from sponsorships that they got. That's
Nah, you get it's not a massive wage, a wage that'd be like, because you think about it, you still have to compensate for your time. in a way.
fair
Travel.
enough.
Do you get what I'm saying? So another thing, like to be a social media manager, was there anything that inspired you to want to do that? So
Yes, so funny story. One of my clients, she's a psychic, she won't mind me saying this. And I went for a reading about a year ago and she was really struggling with the social media. And she was like, oh, you're young, can you help me? And I was like, funny story, yes I can. I've been in the game for so long. So I started helping her and I realised, wow, like, I could make some serious money off this. So I started learning. I bought a course. I was like, right, I'm going to get into it, learn the technical bits and bats, and start teaching other people how to do it. And it was like a snowball effect. It just sort of went on and on and on, get more clients, learn more, experience more. And here we are today.
Okay, so if you could give us 3 tips for everybody who's on social media to improve their views, gain more followers, what 3 tips would you give us?
Be specific, number one. So say if you're in a niche, you guys have got a podcast
Yeah.
on Instagram, in your name, I'd literally put CEO of You podcast.
That's literally what we've got.
Fabulous. See, you're already smashing it. And sort of go on hashtags and topics that talked about that niche, interact and engage. So
How important are hashtags?
So it depends what social media platform you're on. I think TikTok and Instagram, yeah, you need them.
How many hashtags would you say? Because sometimes I feel like if we put too many hashtags, it feels like I'm oversaturating it. Like, then I've actually noticed when we've done fewer hashtags, I felt like we got more views.
I know, I feel that as well.
Exactly. It's with the new updates with like SEO and stuff. So say TikTok, Instagram, they look at words over hashtags now. So TikTok, I'd probably put 5. Instagram, I'd probably put about 10 to 15, just because there's a broader range on there because it's been going for so long. There's so much data backed up that you can still utilise.
Okay. Wait, so how many did you say for TikTok? 15?
5.
Oh, 5.
Instagram.
I'd focus on the words.
Instagram 15.
As in the words of the hashtag or the words of
Caption.
the caption?
On
Okay,
TikTok.
yeah.
So
Thought
you
so.
could put podcast space, I don't know, interview space, whatever, and keep it in your niche, and that would get you higher than putting hashtags.
So
Okay,
where's
makes
it? Put
sense. I've heard that,
podcast.
so-
What's that? Put podcast in our
so like
thing.
niche
In the
words
caption.
in the caption. So like ram it full of keywords.
Yeah.
Ram it full
So
of
like
keywords.
if someone was
Okay.
to search for it, then
It would come up
yeah, it
there.
will come up through the keywords.
Okay, so what like important hashtags would you say need to be used? For example, what hashtags would stand out on TikTok, which you know would guarantee, and what hashtag would you use for Instagram?
You got making me think. It really depends on your niche. So like, I could use myself for an example.
Yes, let's use yourself.
When I did lashes, I'd put hashtag lashes, eyelash extensions. Now, I didn't do eyelash extensions, but I was selling a cheaper alternative. So it's like a complementary hashtag that's not too competitive, because eyelash extensions, £40, strip lashes, £7, 2 different price ranges, 2 different customers. So you can sort of add things in from other areas of your niche that are a bit broader
Yeah.
and include them. I think a good thing to do is go on a hashtag generator.
A hashtag generator.
Yeah.
She knows all the tricks.
I've
I'm
never
saying.
heard of a hashtag generator.
I've heard of it, but I never thought to use it. But
You should use
You
it.
should.
Like, if you sit there and you're like, I don't even know what to put today.
yeah, I feel like
Search
that
for it.
sometimes.
Computers are amazing, don't forget to use them.
Have you guys tried the Chat GPT? I don't know what
The
it
what?
is. It's like a
What's he talking about?
it's like an advanced AI
Yeah.
that will literally answer any question that you have. I used it the other day and I typed in, give me content ideas for technology. Bro, it gave me about 10 content ideas, and they were actually like good. Like I could actually go out there and be like, yeah.
What
can
was
make
one of them?
It was like, it actually gave me news that I could talk about.
Recent, like brand
like
news.
recent news. I was like, how did it know that? Like,
That's
obviously, it's
crazy.
like, of course, it knew that it's AI, it's up to date, but didn't expect it to really
So
give me that answer.
you could just thrive on that for however much time you're doing content for. Because
Yeah, I'll show you guys after this podcast.
Yeah, do.
It's actually insane.
all right, what's another piece of advice? So besides the hashtags and sticking keywords to your niche, what's another piece of advice you would give to us?
Quality content. So you need to start, if you want to build a brand or a business, whatever. You can't do it on your own. You can only fly so far on your own. As a team, you can do it way better.
Yes.
So you need to collaborate with people in your niche, whether it's just a quick mention, sending them products, meeting up with them like we're doing today,
Yeah.
getting some sort of cross promo doing, getting the 2 pools of customers and sharing them.
Okay.
One more question about hashtags.
Go on.
Does hashtag for you page work?
I don't think so, because look how much content's in there.
3, 4,
A
5
drop in the
billion.
ocean, exactly. You're not going to show up straight away.
Yeah, I thought so.
Because there's even like 3 for you, because you got like FYP and then you got for you,
Yeah,
and then you got
there's
for
like a
you
For
page,
You
and then you
with
got the
like
one
a
with the smiley face. Yeah.
I remember when I was doing TikTok in 2021. I used
Alright.
to use For You page, but obviously it was less. It was still billions though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this even working? Sometimes I just leave it out, man. I'm thinking so much content in here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do stuff like that, look at the trending hashtags and use them instead of for you.
Okay, I actually never thought to do the
Even
trending
if they're not even
hashtags.
relevant, just use them anyway.
All right, then. So you're I would say you're also someone who's very good at using strategies in social media.
Need to, yeah.
So I'll just a quick question. This might be a bit weird, but Andrew Tate, he has I seen somebody talk about his social media strategy, how he went on podcasts, basically went on like a massive podcast thing, just talk to everybody, and he knew that's the quickest way he could reach the world. What do you think of his strategy, and what would you do if he was to reach the world in every way?
I think it's fabulous. I think he's so clever. Like, since maybe about 6 months ago when he was really popping off on TikTok, even though he didn't have an account, people were reposting it. It's the things that he says. He's very strategic, so he'll talk some really good stuff. Then he'll put in one bit where it sounds a bit questionable, a bit misogynistic, say. It's not. It's just sounding that way. People take it the wrong way. The feminists get on board, and it's like one big, massive viral marketing spree. People share it. Oh, it's disgusting, this and that. Other people are defending him. All of a sudden, everyone you know is talking about him. And all he said was one thing.
It's genius.
Yeah.
It is genius. Because I did hear him say, all he does is control your emotions. And through that, you've got yourself talking about him all day.
Yep.
And that's how he got so big. Because he'll say something that you guys know is true, but he says it in a way that annoys you.
Yes, it's
I think it's the
aggressive.
Yeah, I think it's the delivery. People don't like to see how it is and how it's said, because a lot of people feel like, right, saying that about me, I'm a bit defensive that you said that about me, especially if you fit the description. Like, if the shoe fits and he said it like that, you'll be like, nah, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to hear the truth.
And then you're in the comments like da 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 da. Someone's replying back to you, and you're like, who the hell are you? Back and forth.
Yes.
But
It goes to show like the majority of the world, like when people are spoken about, they literally do show their true colours on the internet. Because the fact that they can let something on the internet actually reach them and touch them emotionally makes you think, if that's how you actually feel, then maybe that is you in a way. Do you get what I'm saying?
The universe is you pushed out, so you gotta think about that when you get offended.
What do you mean by that? The universe is you pushed out.
So everything around you is you. So if you see something in someone else that you don't like, you need to check yourself. You can't just say it and get on with your life, because that's you self-projecting. So say Andrew Tate says something on a podcast and it literally is you, you've got to be like, oh, this was a sign, I needed to hear it, let me improve it, let me sort this out.
yeah, I agree.
Sounds like as within, so without.
Yeah.
So, like, do you know when you were transitioning from the Women's Super League to more social media marketing, did you have any support systems? Did your mom and dad support you, saying, yep, this is the right move?
My mum, wow. It makes me so happy. Like, without the support of my mum, I would not be here right now, because I probably wouldn't have done it. So I was 17. I was like, Mum, I hate A-levels. I'm bored and I'm sick of it. She was like, right, do body shop with me. She was a body shop at home consultant, managing people. And I was like, yeah, this would be a good idea. She's getting money in. She's trying products for free. I'm like, that's right up my street. So I started, obviously underage, so I had to do it on her account. Then when I hit 18, I started with my own account. And she pushed me so far every day. She was like, right, come on, get up, let's do it. What are you doing today? Right, I'm doing this, you're going to do this, let's go. And we'd sit there together, go on Facebook, outreach, go on Instagram, outreach, get new customers, get clients, pack orders. And it'd be just so fulfilling. Like, I felt amazing.
If you enjoy the CEO of You podcast, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Just so we can grow and bring on bigger and better guests for you guys to learn from.
You were speaking about how your mother inspired you and how your father made you want to take a new journey in also getting a new job to try and do new things. Is there anyone non-family who inspired you to want to do more in social media branding?
Good question. I can't even point it down to a specific person. It's like more of a group of people.
Who was the group?
So actually, I see people around me, like young people, I'm like, they're doing well. Basically, people associated with the Gen Z club, I was like, I like that. Young people doing something for themselves, growing and glowing. Like, I was like, I need to get like that. Let me get back on the game.
I see where you got that from.
I didn't know, because when I'm around people in my area, they're not on it like I am, and I feel like an outsider for wanting to do well and wanting to do business.
That's
What
kinda like
what do you feel like about, like, because some people are happy being not being, I want to say being normal, but just doing the average, the thing that everybody else is doing, like clubbing, partying, drink. What do you think of that? Because personally, I can't comprehend how there's much bigger and better, and I can't sleep at night knowing that there's so much for me to go and gain in this world.
How do you go out to the clubs every weekend when you ain't got nothing to celebrate and you're broke?
You know what? I seen that and I said, yo, I'm gonna stop taking my ass to the club, bro.
Yeah. It's just full of low vibrational people as well. Like, when people drink, they just fight, argue, swear, do weird things. And you're like looking at them as a sober person, like, I don't want to do all that.
And there's many times I go to the club and I'm like, is this even my scene?
No.
I think that too, because many times I've been here and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know, you just have
It
like
hits you.
you have like a quick flash, like, you're not just doing nothing, probably nada with your lives. You're probably out here every week doing the same old new club. Like, you got nothing to celebrate. There's nothing going on.
Do you know what I used to think as
stressing.
well? I used to look at the DJ and be like, oh, you're actually getting paid? And I'm paying? I'm like, forget that. I'm thinking about as home, man. I'm thinking about as home, man. Even the Uber drivers were getting paid because I'm seeing Uber to my house, £30. Normally it's like 10. I'm like,
I used to
you're
finish the end of the nights and be like, I'm 70 quid down, nothing gained, nothing learned,
Nothing.
got nothing to show for it, but a few snap memories.
Yeah, that. And
Absolute
there's people
pain.
that would rather spend money on a night out instead of buying a course or
This
just
is what I don't
investing
get.
into themselves. And I'm like, really and truly, if I buy this, I'll just prevent myself from spending it on fast food or going out even. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to the younger self that want to elevate themselves, such as you did yourself?
Put your money in places where it can grow or give you the potential to grow. You go out this weekend with your friends, have a good time, get drunk, poison yourself with alcohol, but you gain nothing. You could literally put that money to one side, buy a book, buy an online course, go put yourself in a situation to meet affluent people. So an expensive gym, a nice restaurant, a nice bar. Go, enjoy yourself, and the opportunities will flow to you because you're stepping out your comfort zone.
Wow, couldn't have said it
I know,
any
innit?
better myself.
And you didn't stutter.
No stuttering round here.
Not once.
Just building on that, what books have you read that's made you elevate in your mind?
Books wise, I dip in and out of them. So I don't read a book, study it, and then do it. I read it, get something, I'm like, oh yeah, I can apply it to my life. I do it. And then I go into another book in my bookshelf. I read a bit of it, do it, and then go back to the book. It's like I flip between books as it applies to my life. I don't just read one intensely and then try to apply it because I've forgotten half of it.
I feel like I kind of do that as well. Because recently I've picked back up Psychology of Money. And I'm like, oh, what I'm reading right now is exactly what I needed. I was like, wow. Not sure if this is a
Teach me something from Psychology of Money.
Yeah.
It was like, obviously we spoke about it on the last podcast as well.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of people don't want to be millionaires. They just want to spend £1 million. And obviously to be a millionaire, you could easily just invest what you earn every month. And then after a certain amount of time, it will compound and you'll be a millionaire. Simple. Then it was like, true wealth is what you don't show. So like I can go out and buy LV trainers right now or whatever. But now what you really should take from that is I'm £1,000 down. But if I didn't buy them LV trainers, you guys wouldn't know I had that £1,000 to buy the LV trainers.
Yeah.
So true wealth is basically what you don't show. If I don't buy the house, I'm 300 grand richer. If I don't buy the car, 200k richer. But yeah.
That's wild. That's got me thinking. That's crazy stuff. All right, so I feel like we spoke a lot about the social media stuff. By any chance are you spiritual?
Very, yeah. I'm still learning, but part of my journey right now is heavily focused on the spiritual aspect and improving myself as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to do things every day to get 1% closer to my desired reality.
And what is your desired reality?
Financial freedom, number one. I don't want to be strapped to time. I don't want my money and time to be affiliated. I want my money to grow on its own. My time is out of the question. So,
Same.
yeah, I just want to do what I want, basically, all the time.
So how do you plan to get there?
So, right now, 21, diversifying my portfolio. So, cryptocurrency, stocks and shares, my business. And I'm also going to make an automated business, so ebooks, online courses, etc.
That's what I got thinking to do. Yeah,
Amazing.
ebooks and courses. Cool. So you was to sell your course, it would be on social media branding, correct? What kind of lessons would be in that book? So if I was to read it, what am I expecting to read?
So, we'd have to start from the ground up.
Yeah.
You can't hit the ground running, you've got to wait, walk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And go slow. So I'd start with, first of all, your presence. We'd look at it, do a little audit, be like, this is good, this is bad. We'll improve it, we'll get it up to standard. Then we'll focus on the content creation, content cycles, the way your permanent feed looks, basically. Then focus on video content, reels, short form videos, long form videos, YouTube, etc. Then we'd focus on your brand, so the actual brand that we're building. So this is getting people involved, influencers, collaborators, etc. Getting the word of mouth marketing going for you, so that you don't have to do it yourself. Then we'd focus on outreach. Then we'd focus on how to handle incoming traffic and sort of let the money run through each process and just see it flow towards you.
That's amazing.
So you mentioned something that's part of one of our main growths, short form content. How important is short form content is it to grow any social media? Because you can use in any niche short form content in some way. So how important is short form content, Adara?
Very. Look at the world today. Look at people's attention spans. 15 seconds, they're done. They're not going to want to listen to a long video right now because the brains have been trained, in a way, by TikTok, by Instagram copying TikTok, by YouTube copying TikTok, by Facebook copying TikTok.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, dopamine hit, scroll, next. Dopamine hit, scroll, next. You need to produce short form content that goes in there, they find value in it, and they follow, they subscribe to see more of the short form content.
So what? Okay, that's great. 7 to 15 seconds, people's attention span's gone. What is it that I would need then to retain someone's attention in my short form content? What has to be in there for it to be so engaging to them to be like, you know what, I'm actually watched this 30-second video, this 45-second video.
A hook. First 3 seconds, boom. Do you want to XYZ? I'll show you how to XYZ. You need to get their attention quickly. If you've not got it in the first 3 seconds,
That's
gone.
it.
It's over for you.
Yeah. Okay. So the first 3 seconds you need to I can show you, or do you want to?
Yes.
Okay,
Ask
the
a
hook.
question, hit
So
a
then what's
pain point.
yeah, so what's after that?
Value.
Value.
Got to provide some sort of value to keep them there. Otherwise, they're going to be like, this guy is talking a whole load of rubbish. I don't even want to listen.
It's true. I heard anything you say in a video after the hook has to be informational or entertainment.
Do you want to know what it is? Educate, entertain, inspire. That's the content cycle.
Nice.
Educate, entertain, inspire.
Top gem.
Yep.
Top gem.
Run me through that. Educate, entertain, inspire.
Educate, entertain, inspire. That's the content cycle. What you need to do is utilise that when you create content. So your viewer's there for something. They're there for either education, entertainment, or inspiration. You pick one when you create a piece of content and you be like, okay, today I'm going to provide 3 tips on how to start a podcast. Next week, you're going to be like, here's my technical difficulties behind the scenes, entertainment. And then the inspiration, you'll be like, look at us. We started from X. We didn't even have our own studio. A year later, now we've got our own studio. They're inspired.
That speech inspired me.
Yeah.
That speech inspired me.
I mean, that is our goals as well.
Yeah,
to
it
get our
is.
own studio. Get a
And
massive studio.
I don't think it's that far. Like,
It's not.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's so achievable.
I'm looking at our numbers, especially
Well,
with
maybe other
analytics.
people,
Analytic numbers. I feel like we'll be getting monetized
Sometimes,
by 6 months, 6-7 months.
Do you mean 6 weeks?
I don't think we're far, but I feel like
yeah.
when I deep it with our podcast, we never actually did this with the choice of getting money. It was more networking because we knew that with the people we're gonna meet straight away, We're gonna meet so many people on our podcast, and then we're gonna branch off into our own things.
Yeah.
So I feel like we said it from the start that this podcast is a massive
Networking.
networking event.
Pretty much.
Because we're going to learn like everything we can from you. We're going to provide value to you as you're going to provide value to us. And then we can even return back on this 6 months, sit down, have another conversation. What have you learned then that you could teach us? And think about it. We've also said it during the journey. The people will learn if you're watching with us. So anything you take from us from the first episode to the last episode, you should be somewhere a lot more educated on what's to do as well.
Yeah, especially if you apply it to your life as well. Because you can listen to us all you want, but if you're not applying what Adara is saying right now to your social media, you're not going to grow.
This is what I'm saying. Everything Adara said pretty much so far to for anyone wanting to start a business and how to get that social media present. She's literally said it from the start. How to build your personal brand, things that captures viewers' attention, how to retain them, as she just said, the hook, and then entertain and then provide educational information. Pretty much everything's there. So there's no reason why you shouldn't strive on short form content. But just as saying that, you obviously run your business. Who is your most successful client, and what have you done for them that's got the numbers?
I'd say my older client. She's the one who's the psychic.
Yeah.
Which I'm mentioning again. She started with me. A year ago. She had Facebook. Full stop. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and now she's got a flourishing TikTok channel, which is doing numbers. We just need to work on retaining the people, so like giving them a better reason to follow.
Yeah.
She's grown crazy amounts. Like in the past 2 weeks, she's gained 800 followers, views. Some videos hit 50k, I think 60k, 20k.
Is that a TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok.
Killing it.
Numbers are going up, and she's just grown so much as a person. Like she's fluent in different social media languages. I like to say Instagram, TikTok. You know, we're starting to look at LinkedIn now to get more professional connections. For me, she's my most successful client right now, just because of the numbers she's getting, because the content is always quality, good keywords, good hashtags.
LinkedIn. How important is it to have a social media presence on LinkedIn?
If you want to see real money, get yourself on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Damn. I think that hit me in the
Wow.
face. Because I think...
If you want to see real money.
LinkedIn.
Because I'm there like, I've got a LinkedIn, but I haven't posted anything.
Yeah,
How
so...
dare you?
I only followed Josh and Stephen Bartlett, Josh Coldsweet. I'm going to follow you after this. The reason I followed him is because we had him on the podcast.
I created a LinkedIn account, literally looked at video editing jobs, and that was it. And then I think I was meant to put our content onto a page.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to
You
do
know
that.
what? LinkedIn's just a bit confusing for me to navigate because I'm looking and I'm like, they're offering me jobs. I just want to post and make connects with people. Like, I don't really want the jobs right now.
So how would we grow a presence on LinkedIn?
So I think first of all, you need to work on your personal brand. LinkedIn is less about your business, more about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So post your personal wins, for example. Oh, I've just got this new job at X. Really excited to start. Or well done to my client. Or Y. We've done this amazing work together. Here are the results. Picture.
That's
you know
what I
what I
should
mean?
be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you go on my profile now, Adara Telemac, you'll find me. You can see my clients' work, my personal work, events I've attended, me networking in the comments of people's posts. You can see all of that there. Like, I have had so much incoming money from LinkedIn just because I post on it. It's not hard.
That's
like,
crazy because
Yeah, I need to do that.
Harris, the next guest who's going to be on next week's episode, he's also said you need to go on LinkedIn because especially for videographers, they're constantly looking for videographers.
They are.
Yeah. To be fair, Josh told us that as well. He goes, his old videographer he met through LinkedIn. Then he showed us the Instagram, and I was like, wow, this guy's actually good.
That's crazy.
It's
We're
not-
selling.
Yeah,
we need to get
are
on LinkedIn.
selling. We need to get on LinkedIn. I'm trying to see
Honestly.
real money stuff.
Is there any of us like special places that you would say for us to also jump on as a podcast? Like is there any other social medias that we should focus on?
I think maybe it's Twitter. Now, I know a lot of people don't touch it these days, but because you've got so much shareable content with value and that people might find relatable, Twitter's a great place because they can just reshare, create a thread, people talk in the comments, it's a conversation, you answer the questions, and all of a sudden you've got a little community that grows. So I think you should hit Twitter as well.
Yeah, you know what?
We got a Twitter account, we ain't
should get
posted.
we should get onto Twitter.
Post it.
Because
I'm
I-
committing crimes in front of my face.
Yeah, you know what? Just because Twitter ain't got reels. If it had reels, we probably would have posted on there. But yeah,
Yeah, don't forget though, short form content in for everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Twitter could have a nice 2-minute video and do really well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I have seen some videos on Twitter that do really well.
Yeah, and threads do very well as well. I guess we could
Yeah.
do a thread of like your episode, previous
Start a
episodes.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How important would you say having a relationship is, or having a partner in crime?
All right, partner in crime.
Yeah.
So I think a loving relationship is really important if you want to grow because, like I said before, being an entrepreneur and doing these things in business, it is really lonely and sometimes you do need somebody to support you. Say if you're not getting that from parents, siblings, whatever, your partner can support you and you can support them.
Yeah.
So it's like you grow together, you hold each other's hand along the way.
So what does your partner do that makes you want to strive even more, push you to take that extra step?
So it's like my little cheerleader. So when I'm doing things, he's like, yep, you go, girl. Keeping me up. Like, sometimes when I hit rock bottom, he's always there. I don't need to ask. He's just supporting me mentally. And that's all I need because financially, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them girls who'll be like, oh, if he ain't got money, I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm there
Figures.
for the brain, the mental. That's what I need.
I'm not sure what your partner does, but do you think it's important to have a partner in the same industry as you, or that doesn't matter at all?
No. Do you want to argue before you go to bed?
True.
I would never. Like, you don't want to work with your partner in an office, for example. You don't want to be in the same niche as your partner unless you're really doing it together because it can cause a lot of conflict.
Would you say your partner's like an escape? So like you go
Yeah.
about your business, and then when you're with your partner, that business stuff is just out the window.
Yeah, sometimes it complains as well. It's like, how can you be this big, confident businesswoman and you're with me and you just want to chill? Because you're my escape. Like, I come to you to relax. I don't want to talk numbers with you.
Do you feel like because of how successful you are, you've broken like a lot of generational curses?
Yeah, like too many.
Go on, talk me through them.
Wow. So obviously, when, like I mentioned earlier, when you recognise things in your parents, you want to go against it, go against the grain and fix it. So recognising things in them, I've sort of understood and broken. So say one of my parents does something where they're emotionally irrational. I'm going to take that learning, take the teaching, not apply it to my business and try to actively go against it when someone around me does it.
Okay.
And that's how you break the cycle and cause the ripple effect around you.
Wow.
I feel like that's what a lot of people should do, but to even do that, you need some level of self-awareness.
A lot.
Because if you're not self-aware, you wouldn't even realize, oh, I'm acting like how my parents are acting. And then that's the result they got. How can I expect a different result if I'm doing what they're doing?
Would you say that's almost like listening to your intuition?
Yeah, your inner voice. Sometimes people ignore it and think, oh, it's just a silly thought, but it's not, it's you.
This is off topic. It's not off topic. It's just something that came up in my head. It was, I heard a lot of people don't have that voice in their head. Is that true?
I mean,
I've
I've
got
got
one.
that voice.
got it.
I've got that voice.
I've got it, but I've heard some people don't have it. And I think, is that possible?
I mean, I've got that voice in my head that always says like, I should be doing more,
Oh, yeah.
or like I should be working harder.
Yeah.
And I feel that's because I've surrounded myself by people who are working hard, not everyone who's clubbing and everything. I feel like, rah, yo, I gotta step on my game. It's like back to like, yo, I'm on fire. I'm not. You're not gonna sit happy on fire, are you? You're gonna want to get to where you want to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. But do you think things happen for a reason, like the way you took this path, or do you think it just happened by coincidence?
I don't believe in coincidences personally. I think everything happens for a reason and it's all about divine timing. So say if something doesn't go your way, don't be hurt because you need to think, okay, it's either number one, protecting me from something, or number two, pushing me closer to what I actually wanted. And you've just got to wait, have patience and see the result.
Yeah, I can see where that happens in my life. Because there's situations I think I didn't want that to happen. But I look back and I think that actually benefited me.
Exactly, but you'll never know until you have hindsight.
All right, so Adara, if we could ask you a question which you would want somebody to ask you, what would that question be?
How do I work with you? How can I get to work with you? Or how do I sign up?
Okay, how do I work with you, Dara? And how do I get to work with you? And how do I sign up?
So you can contact me on whatever social media you feel like, or you can just give me a WhatsApp message, brief description of your business or what you want to do, how you want to grow. I'll give you a free 15-minute consultation for all your listeners, and then we can get into the sessions one-to-one and work on it.
Nice.
And what's expected to be in these sessions of yours? Just
So-
a few overviews.
Yeah, so it's bespoke. So we've got one Instagram masterclass, which is quite intense, and you learn the social media, like how to use it properly with an audit and everything. Or we could just do one-on-one sessions. So every session you'll be like, I want to do this, or I'll tell you, give you a lesson plan, and we'll work through it like that, quite systematically to grow.
I got a question for you. Are you happy?
Yeah,
Why?
life's good. Look at me. I quit my job last week, and I'm here now filming a podcast. What more can I ask for?
That sounds like a blessing. Are you very religious?
No,
No.
not in the slightest.
Do you believe
As
in
in
God?
you're atheist.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're an atheist, but you're very spiritual.
I don't believe in gods. I believe there's a higher power.
Yeah.
There's a universe, and I don't want to get too deep into it.
Okay.
But religion is a way to conceptualize science and energy, if you know what I mean. God, universe, higher power.
If I don't know what you mean, how would you explain that?
Religious books storytell the way the universe works and how to apply it to your life. So, God is.
So kind of like allegorical stories.
No,
Huh?
You know, it's basically like a story with a meaning, and you just learn from it. But it's like a real story.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess you guys never heard of that word.
No, never heard of it.
I didn't know if you were speaking English.
What kind of foreign word is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. I've never met a spiritual atheist.
It's just like you don't conform to the religious norms.
Yeah.
Like, say there's 10 different religions. Everybody picks one. I just like to sit back and learn life,
Okay.
experience things, speak to other people who are religious and be like, that's really beautiful. I want to sort of add that into my life and use it.
Say I'm like that because I was saying with Islam, I think it's a very beautiful religion.
Very.
However, I wouldn't want to commit myself to something. I'm not sure if I want to commit myself. You know what I'm saying? But however, I believe all the teachings they say about how to live your life according to have God in first and everything, I think great. Some of the same ways, some of the stories of the Bible, some of the chapters they've got, I think they're great as well. However, I wouldn't want to commit myself to a book that's been changed many times over the years.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I would like to learn the lessons. I wouldn't like to commit to it though.
Yeah, like most of my close mates are actually Muslim.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. I'm not religious, like I said, but I'll appreciate the way they carry themselves and appreciate what they do in their life.
So, what do you think happens after death? Like I can see you very focused on life and how to live, but what do you believe after death?
I believe you reincarnate, but I think everyone has a past life, and if you don't, then you're very new to the earth. You can basically see it in young children, you know, like under 5 when they be like, oh, I used to do this, or do you remember when I was working on that? And the parents will be like,
You know, I've heard many
What?
stories like that. To be fair.
yeah, they don't forget. But then after sort of 5, society crushes people down and they suppress all the spiritual gifts, psychic activity,
I heard
telekinesis, you know what I
How
mean?
when you was a kid, you meant to be like in your highest spiritual form anyway.
You are.
Because like as you go through life, a lot of things just get plugged onto you, like traumas and just living life in general in this modern society. It kind of ruins it. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy you say that. But yeah.
So you think we get reincarnated, but then also because there's more people being added to the world, there's new.
Life and energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I always thought reincarnation, it made sense, but the fact that the population is growing didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, like, I think my client, she
Wow, I
said to
never
me,
thought about it like that.
Yeah. Everything's energy, and I think it just goes around and comes around. So maybe somebody's finished the cycle on the earth when they've had many, many, many past lives. A baby is born, and it starts all over again.
Yeah, I believe in energies and vibrations and frequencies. Do you know like? So what would you say you do to like operate on a high frequency?
First of all, I don't listen to conventional music. I don't really like it. It's very low vibrational, like
What do you mean by conventional music?
As in like she's talking
Rap.
like rap.
drugs, money,
Okay.
girls, do you know, that sort of
Yeah.
narrative. I don't want to apply it to my subconscious mind and let it run.
Fair
'Cause
enough.
then it might turn into my life.
You know how
I
wild
mean-
that is? When I was about 14, this guy randomly stopped me and said, "What am I listening to?" Because I had beats that we won from school. I was like, oh, I was just listening to
remember
like
these.
Mostak or something. And he was like, careful what you listen to. Like, whatever you listen to will reflect into your life eventually. Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I don't normally take people's words very like lightly. So I took what he said personally and I was like, wow. Then I said it to the mandem at school. They were like, yeah, ignore that, man.
I'm glad you said that because I remember. I'm glad you said that because I remember on a job to work one time on the way up to Leicester, and he had drill first thing on in the morning. He had his hood on, had his belly on, and we just looked at him and said, on a Friday morning, you want to hear gang violence, shooting, stabbings, killings, like, and then think about it. He said, I think he must have pulled him over and said, look at you, and then listen to the music you're listening to. He said, the music you're listening to, you're basically reflecting what you're listening to. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you got your hood on in a car where no one's got the hood on. You got a belly on when it's hot and everybody's hot. And you're doing all this gang signs, fingers, when everybody's just cool, calm, and relaxed. He said, you're kind of creating a reality for yourself based off what you're listening to. And yeah, it's not very healthy in a way.
Yeah. So, what kind of music do you listen to? Or do you listen to music?
Not very much, to be honest with you. I like to listen to podcasts when I drive. But
CEO of you.
yeah, I like Janae Aiko. Beautiful
Okay.
music. She puts healing sounds in there. You probably won't even notice, but she's got like singing bowls, like frequencies like 432 hertz,
Okay.
things that heal your body.
Yes. Do you like listen to high frequency music when you have a headache?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I've got some sort of
That's
ache
good
or
for you. It's
pain.
like I used to put it on before I used to go to sleep.
Yeah, I used to have this app and you could pick what frequency you want to play, and you could set a timer and let it play till you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, no
I'm
way.
glad. Interesting, you know that. But yeah, that's very cool.
I've only heard about that recently, but I haven't even tried it.
It's meant to like
Even-
give you like a more calming sleep as well.
Yeah.
Do you meditate by chance?
Yeah, I try to integrate it in my daily life as well. So when I were at work, I used to take going to the toilet as a meditation break.
Yeah.
And I would not even go to the toilet. I'd just be in the cubicle and be like, all right,
Paid to
sit
meditate.
back, hands out near the window, receive the good energy, breathe, be conscious of your breathing. Because right now you lot are not thinking, I need to breathe in, I need to breathe out, I need to breathe in. You're not thinking about that.
True.
When you meditate, you need to be like,
Now you've made me conscious of it. Now.
Yeah, you just made me conscious.
Yeah.
I took a semi-deep breath.
exactly. But you need to think about your breathing when you do meditate, just to sort of be in control, mind and body connection.
Is there any other artists that you listen to?
Not as intensely
Not as
as
intensely.
Janae. I think the artists that I do listen to, I just sort of look at the lyrics and then get into the song. Because if I like hear something, I'm like, oh, I don't want that in my life. I'll just delete the song.
Okay.
Okay, I feel like you got me thinking to become a bit more tight around my music. Because I don't really listen to music unless like I'm with someone.
Yeah.
Just to like set that mood. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a
Yeah.
chilled mood. God. But when I'm by myself, I actually don't listen to music. It's
Private?
just podcasts. Probably on a Sunday morning. You know,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
kind of
it's it.
strange. I feel like when I'm by myself, I listen to music, but the words have meaning. So like I'd listen to certain Kanye West songs,
Yeah,
and
I
he'll-
like Kanye.
and it would kind of like motivate me, or he'll talk about God and life, and basically just the realness around life. And I'm like, yeah, like this is the stuff I actually want to be hearing.
Conscious listening. Like,
Yeah.
you appreciate his words and you appreciate his energy. And he's saying, like, do things that you want to do. Listen
Yeah.
to it, go for it. Like, nobody's stopping you.
Exactly. At the same time, there's still times I do bump some very unconscious music.
So do
Yeah.
I.
Very
I think
unheard.
it's
There
for
is
the
times,
vibes.
yeah. So if you could give yourself a piece of advice, your younger self, what advice would that be?
Think before you do things. Don't be so impulsive and irrational. Like,
Yeah.
don't just do something to do it. Sit back, evaluate, and think, am I doing this for them or am I doing it for me? Because sometimes you can overexert yourself by doing things for other people when there's no reason to. So you just need to think.
Okay.
That's advice. It's so short and brief, but it resonates.
Yeah, is that been one of your major life teachings to just think before you've done anything?
Yeah. Because sometimes you can act on something in a state of rage, anger, sadness, and then the next day you're like, why did I do that?
I know I personally can relate to that.
I can definitely relate to that.
I'm like, everyone's done it at least once.
You just gotta be honest with yourself, innit?
I feel like I did mine in more of a panic situation for like a last grasp for something better, as in I reacted impulsive. So you spoke a bit on like spirituality. Do you have any signs or anything? Like, have you received? You know, some people say, "Oh, they may have saw something in the sleep, and it's a sign for them to improve."
Yeah.
Have you had any signs or anything?
Many.
She chuckled.
Like,
She chuckled.
the way you say it, it's just like, whoa. Every single day I see a sign. It's ridiculous. So
You talking numbers like 444, 666?
yeah, angel numbers on number plates, billboards,
666.
phone numbers. It's an
It's
angel
an
number
angel
too,
number
don't
too,
forget
you
about-
know.
Yeah.
See, what's it?
He's thinking about the negative, wouldn't you? Switch him up.
You need to learn the angel numbers.
Yeah, and it's just like divine intervention. So say I was clocking up some numbers at work, the grand total would be like 444 or 1111, whatever. I went to the post office the other day to post something for my mum. Paid for it on my business card. It comes through £5.55.
I seen that on your story.
Yes, you did.
And what does that mean?
So it's basically like change is coming. You need to trust the process, be patient, and not force it. Don't rush.
It's 15:05. Does that still count?
No.
So
15:55, sure.
Okay.
So
okay.
because that's come up, does that like because you know the meaning of the word? Let's say you know change is coming. Would that consciously make you want to do more to let's say speed up that change, or would you just subconsciously remember it and just keep going about your day-to-day lives? Because it's kind of like, are you contributing more towards the inevitable, or is the inevitable going to happen?
Fate's
Yeah.
in your own hands. You control it. So
Yeah.
you don't need to let it run, if you know what I mean. You can wake up today and change everything. You don't need to think, oh, that's a sign to stay comfortable. You can just do the opposite. But if you listen, sometimes you can apply it. Not all the time. Like, if you look for a pink elephant, you'll find one. If you look for angel numbers, you'll find them, and they might
It's
not
true.
apply.
Oh wow! So you actually go looking for these? That's crazy.
Yeah, you don't need to look, though. It'll just be there.
So what actually got you into learning about the angel numbers and the importance of them?
I think I used to see feathers, like, a lot. For no
Feathers?
reason. Feathers. White feathers. Like, the other week, I was at
That's
home.
crazy. Yeah.
Working, and I sat back in my chair, and a feather came up from the other side of the table.
What?
How exactly? It turns out a book fell, the feather went up because the cat brought a bird in. And there were a feather, and it came up, and I was like, oh, if that wasn't a sign, I don't know what is. How did that equal that? Like, how did the sign be pushed in my face like that? And I was like, that's so weird, let me look into it deeper. Like 3 crows, 2 crows. Animals can also be signs. So say if you are going about your business and a squirrel's just sat there looking at you and not doing anything, Google it. Spiritual meaning of a squirrel. You'll find out. It sounds so silly, but butterflies, even like in summer, I was out and about with my boyfriend, and I was sat down, this orange butterfly came round my head 3 times and perched next to me for about 5 minutes. And I was like, is the Matrix broken or something? Because I was trying to touch it and it wasn't moving.
No way.
And then after like 5 minutes, it flew away, and I was like, whoa,
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
I don't know. I just appreciated the moment. I was like, a butterfly?
That sounds beautiful though in a
It
way.
was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I nearly cried.
I like that.
Do people ever think like you're weird for believing what you believe?
Yeah, like sometimes my mum's like, girl, are you all right? And my
Yeah.
dad's like, oh, I don't believe in all that woo-woo stuff. But
Yeah, I could imagine because people are always like, "Oh man, just relax. It's not that deep."
it's not that deep. I've heard that many times. But sometimes it is that deep. Like, if it applies, apply it.
I think that's cool. You think, because I feel like if you subconsciously think that's what it means, you're going to kind of like manifest it in a way. Like if you say, oh, let's say if I wear this, I'm gonna feel protected because this is what it means. I feel like you would subconsciously start to think now, all right, I'm gonna start being more confident because I'm protected. I'm gonna do more because I'm actually being protected by this. So you think that's what it causes you to do, to think more subconsciously?
Say, evil eyes. I've got an evil eye bracelet in my car. I've avoided many crashes. And
Nice.
I believe it's helping to protect me.
Yeah.
But people might be like, it's just a bracelet. But if I believe in something, why knock it? If it's working, I'm
Yeah.
here today. I ain't crashed. You know what I mean? I had a little bump or two, but that's it.
So another thing as well, I know rocks. A lot of girls like spiritual rocks, called them rock girls.
rockers, spiritual bodies. Let's get it right.
We're calling it spiritual baddies. Do you have any?
Yeah, I love them. So I actually brought some along today because we were talking about it on the phone. I was like, I need to show you guys.
So let's show us.
All right, so I've got 3. We've got a bit of amethyst.
You want to show the camera as
uncut.
well?
Yeah, right, guys. So we've got amethyst uncut. Okay. We've got rose quartz for love. You probably can't see that, but it's pink. And then we've got citrine for good fortune and luck.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you just carry them around or have them in your bedroom and you think, today I want to bring more love into my life. Let me get the rose quartz. You can now hold it to your heart, put it down, get some incense and just get the energy or meditate with it. So put it between your hands, let the energy flow.
So on this podcast, we have a closing tradition where the previous guest asks the new guest a question. And the question we've got for you is from Aaron. And his question to you is, what's one thing that you are holding on to that you know you need to let go of?
That's a very good question.
That's a good one.
You got me there. I think it's regret. Because holding on to something so tightly is more damaging than just letting it go. Regretting something, what is it going to do? You can sit and dwell on it for the day, be depressed, or you can just get up and carry on. You need to not hold on to regrets and just live life, take every day as it comes, and do things one step at a time.
Wow, I'm going to say that to someone.
Repeat the message, be the angel.
Do you feel like, one more question, do you feel like you do anything in your life now to avoid having regrets in the future?
Yeah, I listen to my intuition. So if I've got a decision I need to make, I'm like, yes, no, yes. I sit back and I go, please, universe, give me a sign. Do I go forward with this move or do I leave it? And you sit back and you'll hear a voice that's not your own in your head and it'll be like, do it. Or leave it. But, oh, okay, thank you. And you just get on with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Great advice.
Well, I think that's everything we've got today. But first of all, we'd like to definitely learn a lot about the building of social media. And you're going to be in Rosario Academy as well, teaching a lot more. And where can they find you, Dara? Where can they find you if they want to learn how to grow their business brand more?
So I think the best place to find me right now is on either Snapchat or Instagram. But I'll give my Instagram, which is Business by Adara.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Beautiful business card as well.
Thank you.
Beautiful. We'd like to thank you for coming down.
Definitely, most thank you as well.
How long was your journey? 2-3 hours?
2.5 hours.
I'm grateful you made it down. I'm thankful for your patience as well. Because setup was a bit long.
We probably speak about that behind the scenes. There was definitely a lot of technical difficulties, but we got here in the end.
Yeah.
Push through it.
Yeah. So once again, thank you very much, Dara. And we look forward to seeing you in another 12 or 6 months.
You will. Don't forget
Definitely.
about me.
We won't.
Well, we're seeing you next week, but
Yeah.
great.
I forgot.
Thank you guys for listening and take care. If you enjoyed the CEO of You podcast, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Just so we can grow and bring on bigger and better guests for you guys to learn from.